Tonight on RBT.
You desperately want to get into a police car because I can arrange it.
What's it going to take for you to stop driving a car? At this stage, you're under arrest.
What I propose to do is to get you out onto the footpath. All I'm going to do is a sobriety test.
Can you tell me why you tested positive?
I took some speed.
Turn it off, don't touch anything.
You're under arrest, avoiding an RBT site.
You look drunk, sound drunk, smell drunk.
You're on a one-way ticket to jail, mate.
In Sydney, there's a part of the city that never sleeps. King's Cross. And patrolling here means officers see it all. From the good...
Have a safe night, guys.
...to the bad.
Keep your hands where we can see them. There's a bag of white powder there.
...to the downright ugly.
You desperately want to get into a police car because I can arrange it.
The Friday night shift has barely started and it's already proving eventful.
We see it all here at King's Cross. That's just another example of some of the things that we have to deal with just while we're trying to go about our regular business.
Regular business for officers Kirsten Stocks and Simon Fitzhenry is the RBT line, and it's always busy.
Hello, how are you?
1, 2, 3,
4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
0.010.
You've registered a very low level, 0.01.
So far, the King's Cross clientele are behaving themselves, but come the early hours, and it's another story.
The reason I've stopped you is you've just come around the corner pretty quick, and then we've sort of seen you park, and I mean, you did a U-turn just here, and then you're driving the car with the door open with your mate trying to get in. How much have you had to drink, Thomas?
I've probably had 3 drinks in the last 2 hours.
3 beers, 3 scotches, 3 shots?
2 bourbons.
Or have you had a meal with it?
I had a meal early tonight at 8 o'clock, yeah.
It's been a busy night for Thomas. After knocking off work, he headed out on the town.
Thomas, from the beginning, was genuinely nervous. The first words out of his mouth was, "I've had a drink 5 minutes ago." So that says to me, you know, he's going to be a borderline candidate there, that's for sure.
Police have to give him a grace period before testing, something Thomas understands only too well.
I do probably have mouth alcohol. Yeah, I'm happy to wait 10 minutes.
All right, so what's going to happen
Doesn't make much of a difference. I'm a bartender, so I know.
Okay, all right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get you to step out of the car. So how much have you had to drink? 2 scotches and
No,
2 bourbons?
A Sailor Jerry, dry and lime, and maybe 2 bourbons.
What time was that?
Roughly, I got to the event at, I think about midnight.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a beer after work at 10 as well. But
all right, so 2 o'clock.
This bartender certainly knows how to mix his drinks. Along with rum, Thomas says he knocked back bourbon and beer.
You're of the opinion that you're right to drive?
I'm of the opinion I am. I've actually got a breathalyzer in my car. I try to be pretty responsible.
Did you test it tonight?
It's pretty inaccurate. It's put from China. Sometimes they are, but, you know, after a few goes, it doesn't really work.
Maybe now he's wishing it did work.
All right, Thomas, time has come, my friends.
Do it. Crunch time.
As police could soon be calling last orders on his licence.
Keep going, and stop.
With more than 4 drinks under his belt, barman Thomas may have to rethink his cocktail of drinking and driving. On the other side of the city, police have set up an RBT line on a busy thoroughfare.
Drag that from the tip of your tongue. Excellent.
Tonight, as well as drink drivers, they're also targeting drug-affected drivers.
Just count to 10 out loud for me, mate.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Also been stopped for the purpose of random drug testing.
Yep.
All right.
19-year-old Stephen nipped out to drop his dad at the bus stop, but left his licence at home.
All right, you can't have anything to eat, drink or smoke for 5 minutes while we're waiting for the test results to come back, all right?
Yep.
Just push a bike over the side and just come down here with me.
All right, yep.
And I'll do some checks on your licence, all right?
While Stephen waits for his drug test result, police check on his licence.
And you reckon you got a motorbike licence?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I've got a motorbike licence, but I'm on my L's.
You're on your L's and a motorbike and you're doubling.
Yeah, I know. I was going to tell you, but to be honest with you, I thought I'd be able to get away with it.
You can't double me.
I know.
But doubling while on his L's is the least of Stephen's worries.
You had any drugs lately, mate?
Nah.
When was the last time you used?
Could have been like 3 days ago with a mate.
Out in the suburbs, officers on mobile patrol spot a familiar face.
Disqualified.
Just a few days ago, they disqualified the same driver in the same car.
We stopped him the other one.
Yep.
Same driver. Yep. Excellent.
Definitely.
And because he's driven again, his risky behaviour is likely to land him in serious trouble. At the wheel is 20-year-old Andrew.
You can't drive being disqualified. You know that, don't you? What's it going to take for you to stop driving a car while you're disqualified? Just face this way, count 1 to 10 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Fine.
Andrew hasn't been drinking, but he's not off the hook yet.
At this stage, you're under arrest for driving while disqualified. All right? You understand that? All right, you just want to get out and secure your vehicle for me, you've got to come with us. Obviously, being disqualified, if he has made a vehicle collision, he's got no insurance. Right, if he hurts somebody or kills somebody, it can be even worse. Just take your seat for me and put your seatbelt on, OK?
Sorry, Chef. You don't mind me asking, what's like the worst case scenario?
Well, worst case scenario, you may go to jail.
In Kensington, L-plater Stephen was pulled over for a drug test while doubling his dad on his scooter. He then admitted to taking drugs.
When was the last time you used?
Could have been like 3 days ago with a mate.
3 days ago with a mate. What have you been using?
Oh, just marijuana.
Cannabis can stay on your system for several days, and depending on this drug result, Stephen's biking days could bite the dust.
You don't have any drugs on you at the moment?
No.
Stephen's not out of the woods yet.
What's going to happen is you're going to receive 2 tickets in the mail, 1 for not carrying a licence and 1 for doubling.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
So you might as well tell your dad to start walking, because you're not doubling from here, all right?
Yeah, no
You
worries.
passed all your tests, so you're free to go.
Thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate that.
Time being pulled over, he had a passenger, which is a can't do with a learner licence. He also wasn't carrying his licence at the time, and he wasn't displaying his L plates. He didn't really seem to care that much, so it's quite possibly will reoffend.
Stephen's lucky to ride away. But there's plenty more where he came from.
Car driver, as I explained to you earlier, been stopped for random testing tonight. Need to rub the 2 little pink grommets from the top of your tongue to the back. So
47-year-old Roberto cruised straight into the drug testing line.
all the way down the front. Yep, give it a good one for me.
And now he's tested positive to methamphetamine.
Just to inform you, you're under arrest for the purpose of a secondary test. What I need you to do is push your bike up onto the footpath here for me, and we'll go into the bus and start the secondary test.
No problem.
In the bus, Roberto is happy to come clean about his drug use.
Can you tell me any reason why you tested positive to a roadside drug test?
I took some speed. I took it yesterday, yeah, but I can't remember how much.
Like many drivers, Roberto thought that after 24 hours, he'd be fine to drive.
It was a friend of mine's father's birthday. So, yeah, it's all right. Had a good night.
But the good time lasted longer than Roberto expected.
I didn't know that it lasted that long. I even tried to do the right thing yesterday. I stayed over at my friend's place because we'd had a few drinks as well.
Roberto works as a mechanic and loves nothing more than hitting the open road on his motorbike.
I don't go for big rides anymore. I'll do, 500-600 Ks. That's big enough for me.
Methamphetamine can stay in the system for up to 5 days, so Roberto may be about to sacrifice what he loves the most. 20-year-old Andrew passed the breath test but failed the common sense test. Busted for the second time in a week for driving while disqualified, he now faces serious consequences.
Sorry, Chef, you don't mind me asking, what's like the worst case scenario? No.
The worst case scenario, you may go to jail.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a self-defence and fitness consultant.
And where do you work at?
All over Sydney, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really need my licence for my job, and I really need my job.
I know you need a licence, but you're not allowed to have a licence.
Self-defence and fitness is just his day job.
I'm an actor, stand-up comedian too.
You're a stand-up comedian. Can you tell me any good jokes?
Yes, apparently.
This is a joke?
No,
It's not a very good joke.
joke's on me, sir.
The joke is on you.
At Quakers Hill Police Station, Andrew's trying to look on the bright side of his time in custody.
This is the name. Facebook, hit it.
Facebook?
Yeah, bro.
Who's that? Is that you?
Yeah.
Mr. Lover.
Yeah.
Ladies love that.
Oh, they love it, bro. They dig it. That's my motto, bro.
Smiling now?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Making you smile.
Andrew might be all smiles, but he's facing some serious charges.
All that happens from now is he's being entered into custody. After he's entered into custody, he'll be processed, and then the custody manager will decide on his bail.
It's the prospect of not getting bail that has Andrew really worried.
I'm shit scared, to be honest. But, yeah, look, there's nothing really you can do.
Thomas from the beginning was genuinely nervous. The first words out of his mouth was, "I've had a drink 5 minutes ago." So that says to me, you know, he's going to be a borderline candidate there, that's for sure.
In King's Cross, police are about to find out if bartender Thomas has poured himself one too many.
So how much have you had to drink?
I had a Sailor Jerry, dry and lime, and maybe 2 bourbons.
All right, Thomas, the time has come, my friend.
Do it. Crunch time.
All right, go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and stop.
If Thomas blows over now, it'll be crunch time for his licence.
You want to really fine, mate.
What is the level?
0.
0. Woo! That's pretty good.
All that pressure, mate, and nothing to worry about.
An unbelievable but good result for Thomas, and a risk he won't be taking again.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, if he's driving around with 0, that's what we want, so.
While Thomas can rest easy tonight, King's Cross never sleeps. And it's not long before officers pull over a ute that's seen better days.
So there's a couple of things. Number one's your windscreen. With a crack that big, once it's over 15 centimetres, all right, it can't travel over 80 kilometres. There's a chance that it could cave in on you, all right? You had anything to drink at all this afternoon? No, nothing at all? All right, this device you just need to count into. I'm going to place it in your mouth and ask you to count to 10 for me, OK?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's fine. Have you just finished work?
No, sir.
No?
Officer Fitzhenry wants to know exactly why Marcus has come to the cross.
OK, where are you headed now?
Home.
Home?
Yep.
To Cronulla?
Yep.
What brings you to King's Cross?
I just come in for a drive.
Just for a drive?
Yep.
All right.
Officer Fitzhenry needs to make sure it is just a drive.
I noticed that your eyes are a bit glazy, maybe it's stressed with work, maybe you hadn't had enough sleep. What I propose to do is to get you out onto the footpath. All I'm going to do is a sobriety test to make sure you're fit to drive a car. You understand that? Cool, just jump out and stand on the footpath for me. So I'm going to ask you some questions about where you've been, what you do, all right? Do you do drugs?
Just to inform you, you're under arrest for the purpose of a secondary test.
Motorbike mechanic Roberto has tested positive roadside to methamphetamine.
I took some speed. I took it yesterday, I can't remember how much.
So are you a regular drug user?
I used to do drugs. Now I do them now and then.
Like many users, Roberto didn't expect the drug to still be in his system. And now, his need for speed could cost him his licence.
Just a hassle. Yeah. Getting on the train, getting on the bus. Yeah, taking 2 hours to get to work.
Straight and beautiful, and just look at the ground. You're right. Close your mouth. The COSART's analysed you and it has come back positive.
Oh, okay.
Roberto will have to explain himself in court and won't be able to ride for 24 hours.
I didn't think the stuff was that good anyway. I worked today. I didn't even sleep very much last night. I thought I'd be right, you know. What happens now? I've got to leave my motorcycle here. Can I park it properly somewhere?
The safety of his treasured bike might be Roberto's priority, but for Acting Sergeant Thebus, the lesson is more important.
Like most people, they don't have a clear understanding that it does stay in your system for a long period of time and it's dangerous to ride or drive.
Some people take a while to learn from their mistakes.
Well, look, I've got no option today, OK? At this stage, you're under arrest for driving while disqualified.
Picked up for the same offence twice in 1 week, Andrew now faces spending the night in jail.
And then the custody manager will decide on his bail.
While he waits, amateur entertainer Andrew puts on a performance.
Show me how it's done. Decent sort of fella. He's just got a problem with driving cars. He's reckless in that sense, but apart from that, he's a nice guy. It's not often we get nice people coming to the police station. No worries, mate. Take a seat. Not only is he a stand-up comedian, but he's apparently a martial arts expert and a beatboxer.
No, sorry.
So, ladies, get a hold of him.
It's been an entertaining show, but Andrew's antics don't relieve the nerves.
It just feels bad, awful. I'm shit scared, to be honest. But, yeah, like, there's nothing really you can do. Yeah, I just want to leave here tonight, to be honest. Jail's not a place you want to be. Like, don't go to jail. It's the worst place in history.
Fortunately for Andrew, the custody officer decides he's allowed to go home.
Well, don't forget your bent cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
Take care and don't go driving any cars, all right?
I'll try not to, sir.
No worries. Take care. See you, mate.
He may be a triple threat on stage, but his next act will be in front of a judge. Police across the city set up RBT sites at known drink driving hotspots. And this RBT site in Roos is one of the hottest. It's just up the road from a roundabout, and drivers with anything to hide think they can use it to make a hasty exit. But with police chase cars standing by day and night, there's no escape for motorists.
And 9 times out of 10, these motorists got something to hide. There goes one now.
This driver also appeared to avoid the site.
How many drinks did you have today?
2, mate.
Just 2?
Yeah.
All right, just blow into that until I say stop. Keep going. Stop.
Just 2 drinks is something police hear every day.
At this stage, you're under arrest for the purpose of the breath analysis. All right? No.
While waiting to drive his girlfriend home from work, 50-year-old Russell says he passed the time with a couple of drinks. And those drinks may mean he misses out on his favourite day of the year.
Tomorrow I'm supposed to be going to Eastern Creek.
What's out there?
Nitro, funny cars and all that.
Oh, it's on tomorrow. Yeah, so you're a bit of a petrol head.
Yes. And I drive a Jazz.
Cars are Russell's business, as well as his pleasure. He works as a car detailer at a local dealership, and he loves his job.
I worked Saturday all my life, so I had one Saturday off and didn't know what to do with myself, so I just worked now.
Where did you have your last drink?
Down at Campbelltown, mate. Now I was drinking down there, mate. In my car.
What did you have to drink?
2 JGs, mate. I didn't think 2 would put me over, mate, so...
For this self-confessed rev head, driving is his livelihood and his greatest love.
I drive every day. I work in a car yard, so...
Now he risks losing both.
Blow until I say stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop.
I know I've been drinking, so, yeah.
brings you to King's Cross?
I just come in for a drive.
Just for a drive?
Yeah.
All right.
In the Cross, tradie Marcus has police perplexed.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I notice that your eyes are a bit glazy. Maybe it's stress with work. Maybe you hadn't had enough sleep. What I propose to do is a sobriety test.
To check that he isn't affected by drugs, officers conduct a sobriety test.
So I'm going to ask you some questions about where you've been, what you do, all right? Now, it's not an offence to answer any of these questions, but obviously your honesty. Do you do drugs?
No, sir.
Do you use drugs?
No, sir.
Any type of drugs?
No, sir.
Are you on any medication for any illnesses,
No,
anything
sir.
at the moment? And how is your health generally?
Good.
Good? No traumas, no flu, no sports injuries, no anything like that? Do you do any physical exercise?
Surfing.
Okay, all right. So this may seem really freaky, but I'm just going to watch you for the next couple of minutes. Just have to stand there. All right?
During a sobriety test, police are keeping an eye out for signs of fidgeting or swaying.
All right, hands up. Balance is good. That's fine. Mate, jump in your car, you're right to go.
Thanks very much.
I think Marcus is just a bit nervous. People come to King's Cross just to look around. It's quite entertaining to see some of the things that go on here in the street. He more than satisfied me, you know, that more than capable to drive a car, and for that matter, then he's free to go.
A couple of pre-mixed drinks while waiting for his girlfriend have put Revhead Russell just over the limit. Now it's touch and go whether his blood alcohol limit will go up or down.
I've been done.
He's putting on a brave face, but a driving ban would be his worst nightmare.
All right, Russell, if you can take a deep breath into this and blow until I say stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop. The instrument has analysed a sample of your breath and returned a reading of 0.043.
So I'm over, am I?
I know you're under.
Good.
Bit relieved, now you can drive to Eastern Creek tomorrow.
Eastern Creek and drive home.
For a moment, car lover Russell had a glimpse of life without a licence, and it's a timely wake-up call.
It's a lesson learned.
Not to drink and drive.
That's right. All right, see you later.
Yeah. See you guys.
He said he's going to keep that certificate in his car just to remind him not to consume any alcohol before he drives again, so he's able to enjoy his weekend now and carry on.
Andrew was charged with driving whilst disqualified. He was disqualified for a further 2 years and jailed for 2 months. Roberto's laboratory test was positive for methamphetamine. He was convicted of driving with an illicit substance in his system. He was also fined $400 and disqualified from driving for 3 months. Police used their discretion and issued Stephen a caution for not displaying his L plates, not carrying a licence and carrying a passenger while on his Ls.